Hello and welcome back to Podcasting is Praxis. I'm Dave, my pronouns are he and him.
I'm Jamie, and my pronouns are he and him.
Mine are Robert, mine are you and him.
One moment of hesitation and it throws the whole thing off. I'm Alistair, my pronouns are he and him.
Jesus Christ. No task too hard.
Nope.
Oh, fucking hell.
One of these days we're going to get through the intro with, like, no deviations,
no casualties.
No.
Yeah. You know what I would do is, like, I would simply speak the words of the curse aloud so as not to renew it. That's what I would do.
We've never actually had to change the zero on the "there has been 0 days since the last intro" fuck up sign.
See, what I would do, Rob, is simply speak my own name and pronouns.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Hello. I am inanimate carbon Rob, and my pronouns are
Inanimate carbon Rob. Fuck off.
Oh, you'll never strive to those heights. Right, shall we just get into it? Because we've just got a whole bunch of stupid news bits and article excerpts and shit to get through, so what's first on the menu?
No, well, don't sell it. Just don't sell it to the listeners, David. Really pitch it. That's how we rise up in the ranks of the podcast race. Hey, you're here. We've got some random shit for you. Yeah. Fuck you.
If this is your first episode, this is what it's like. Strap in.
Yeah, patreon.com/praxiscast, motherfucker.
One of my mates has just sent me a fucking DM to say she can't decide whether to put, like, fucking on a fucking Grindr or Insta the line, "My arse is as clean as an elven hotel."
I say yes.
I'm going to say Insta. I don't feel it would go down as well, but they deserve it, so.
Yeah, going from our tech correspondent to the local news desk. If everyone could reach under their chairs and get out their PraxisCast branded clipboards and pound them along with me as I introduce the Labour hate segment of tonight's episode.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
we
go.
Love the Labour hate.
So, I don't know how many of you saw this, I imagine all of you, but Nigel Farage had basically an hour-long platform on the BBC and Sky News, as well as other news outlets, where he got to spew all of the shit that you would expect Nigel Farage of 2025 to be spewing. Over the course
was it just
of
like
this
a press conference or something?
It was a party political broadcast on behalf of Nigel Farage, broadcast by the BBC and Sky News, which was labelled as breaking news as well. So it is apparently.
Excellent. I assume he read out a bunch of Labour policies.
Correct. So I've got a few of the hits here. So one of them being deporting 600,000 migrants over the course of the next parliament if reform wins. 600,000 migrants, yes. Opening a dialogue with the Taliban and make money available to them, as well as other third countries, to facilitate repatriation, as well as sanctions for countries that don't cooperate. Yes. It's really, really cool to have a modern-day Mein Kampf be broadcast on national television in 2025. There was a bit from the Beeb like about the the policies. I use that phrase advisedly. The policies that Nigel Farage was announcing. So during the news conference, Farage asked Reform UK chair Zia Youssef whether it was realistic to deport 500,000 to 600,000 people within the lifetime of the first parliament under Reform UK government, to which he replied, "Totally, yeah."
I mean, it's only like 330 people a day. How hard can it be, right?
It's yeah.
We did the thing. I mean, we did the thing.
It's roughly speaking like an entire Boeing 747 departing, I don't know, some military, airspace. I assume every day, without interruption, every day for the 5 years of the Parliament, which is not beyond them. But in order to achieve that, you would almost by necessity need to have like a sort of Donald Trump style, National Guard out on the street kind of thing, which not past Nigel Farage in the slightest.
No, I mean, I imagine that's like what he wants more than like the people actually being deported is to have like fucking hit squads just roaming the streets, putting the shits up anyone.
It's your typical, brown shirts in the streets, dragging people out of their houses, putting them on an airplane, like day after day after day for an entire parliament. And at this point, is this anything less than what we would expect from Nigel Farage? And is this anything less than we would expect from the liberal bastion of journalism liberal bastions, I should say, of journalism at the BBC, Sky News, etc.?
It's kind of essentially what I expect from the entire British political establishment, not just like the media.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is what
I was just going to say, I would expect this from the fucking Labour Party, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, we will get
weirdly
on...
enough, apart from like the Greens and yourparty.text.exe, the only ones I don't expect it from is the Lib Dems. Like the Tories will do it, Labour will do it, Reform are announcing it. So why not?
No, the Lib Dems will simply read out, here's a bunch of things we don't think are very nice. Please don't do them. And all of those things will be the most mediocre, small things possible. They have nothing to say. And do you know what? Fine, I'd rather the Liberal was quiet.
Yeah, I mean, it's uncritical repetition of this stuff with, trying to attack it on the basis of, the details, when obviously this is just morally repugnant on every fucking level that is possible to be. But Nigel Farage continued, announced a policy of a £2,500 offer if migrants voluntarily leave the country as part of a carrot and stick approach, as well as removing the UK from international treaties like the 1951 Refugee Convention, as well as leaving the ECHR. Hey, wait a minute. How did this blue Labourism get in my fascist rhetoric?
I don't know. I simply have my mouth full of delicious Barnsley chop at the moment. I can't tell.
So I took that bit from the part of the Sky News website, and one of the other bits on that same thread of politics shit, Sky News had how many asylum seekers are in your area. So you stick in your postcode.
I was literally about to say, as a joke, can I search by postcode? No, Rob. The Sky News website has you covered. You can put in your postcode and it'll tell you how many asylum seekers are in your area, so you know what level of absolutely apoplectic fury you should be in and how many St. George's crosses you need to vandalise your local street with to display your inchoate rage. This evolution of things being advertised to me online from, hot MILFs in my area to illegal migrants in my area is not something I really appreciate, quite frankly.
Finally, the apotheosis, come Brexit, my lord.
And so we move on to the bit that makes this the Labour hate segment. What was Starmer's response, do we think?
Damn, I love this shit. I wish it was me that was Prime Minister so I could do all this.
He welcomes Nigel Farage's comments and encourages him to go further?
I mean, pretty much.
No. It's going to be actually, he's not deported a single migrant yet, and I've done hundreds.
Correct. Yeah, you've basically covered all your bases across those two guesses, Jamie.
Fuck's sake.
So this is another bit taken from Sky News. Speaking to journalists, the Prime Minister's spokesperson claimed that the government was offering serious solutions. They added, it makes him angry, frankly, because it's unfair on ordinary working people who pay the price from the cost of hotels to our public services struggling under the strain.
Oh, shut the fuck up, you ham cunt.
The spokesman continues.
Can't talk about these fucking hotels anymore. It's just like... it's just like 10 years of nobody building any serious, like, you know, facilities for migrants because we're not allowed to fucking do that. But, like, you know, and then we put them in all in hotels. We pay Serco to put them in, like, the worst hotels in the world that nobody wants to visit. And then we turn around and get mad at people for staying in hotels. It's like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, this is part of, as well, this is part of the wider liberal media response to this, well, you know, racist garbage coming out of Nigel Farage, where they are saying, essentially, this is, and this is sort of ties into what Starmer says later on as well in this bit, there is... The problem with this is that it hasn't been thought out and planned properly, because you can't put all of those people you're going to deport in, those refugees, in hotels. So what are you going to do with them? And it's like, I don't know, guys. They might think of something. They might just have to look across the pond and see what's going on there. Take some inspiration.
This fucking post from Instagram. They have accused Nigel Farage of shouting from the sidelines while Starmer has removed over 35,000 people from the UK. Which, you know, that's supposed to be good. But this shouting from the sideline shit is exactly the same stuff that Starmer was doing in that conference that was like the shaking off the fleas conference.
But like,
he's using the language that signified victory over Jeremy Corbyn against Nigel Farage as the Jeremy Corbyn party is ascendant to the point of tossing him out of his own fucking seat at the next election at the polls.
The thing is, though, like, if you're going to accuse someone of shouting from the sidelines, why would you bother with that when you're taking his fucking advice? Do you know what I mean? Like I get if you know what I mean. You're at the football and there's some fucking, like, you know, middle-aged divorcee on the sidelines yelling at you to just kick it in the fucking net or whatever. You might go like, oh, it's easy for you to say, but like, if you're taking his fucking advice on exactly where to stand and how to kick the ball and everything, I don't think you've got ground. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking, it's like the lad from fucking Ratatouille calling the rat a little cunt because it's not actually handling the spoon itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking...
Look at this dickhead shouting from the sidelines, and the power that he has is definitely nothing. Now watch as I do everything he just fucking told me to do.
Well, and also, like, that's the entire point of every political party that's not in power in, you know, a one-party state like the UK. It's like, all parties are shouting from the sideline because that's, you know...
How parliamentary democracy fucking works.
Yeah,
the whole point.
Britain has had 2 prime ministers in the last, like, fucking, I don't know, what, 9 years? And they have both been either Nigel Farage or Jeremy Corbyn, neither of which were actually prime minister.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, the fucking, do you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing about, like, you don't want to be, you can't do anything from opposition, you're just shouting from the sidelines. That's the only thought that drives the Labour Party. That's why they're so desperate to do everything reforms suggest, because, like, you know, if they do that, I mean, first of all, they want to do that because they're all racist fucking cunts who hate the working classes. But secondly, they think because Reform are in ascendancy and they're incapable of, like, figuring out, you know, it doesn't fit with their fucking, you know what I mean, like, PPE degree view of the world, that people might just be voting for the party that hasn't been tried yet because they fucking hate you and everything you fucking stand for. Do you know what I mean? Like, they can't see the pattern that, like, you know, the Tories, like, completely fucking collapsed and then they got a turn and they're on fucking track to completely fucking collapse and then Reform will get a turn. And then, presumably Farage will just declare himself, like, Führer for life. And not, like, you know what I mean, and find a reason to suspend elections, because otherwise they would fucking collapse and someone else would get a turn. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, they're not going to do anything that fixes the fucking country either, and that's all people want. But if you did a PPE degree, you can't just apply common sense to it, because then what's your fucking PPE degree worth? So instead you have to assume that it's like, oh, well, the tactical move is to tack right, to triangulate, to fucking do... And it's like, and it doesn't matter if then everything you do is what Nigel Farage and Reform want. Because the important thing is, if you don't do that, you won't stay in government. And if you don't stay in government, you can't do good things, which you aren't doing because you're doing everything Reform want. Because if you don't do it, you won't be in government to do good things, and so forth. Do you know what I mean? Like, so shouting from the sidelines is obviously the worst fucking, like, insult he can throw at Nigel Farage, because it's basically just, haha, you're not in government. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm in government.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in government. So what I do is, like, important and real. And that's why I'm going to do everything you say so that I can try and stay in government more. Like, and it's like...
Yeah, but Jamie, just as a quick question, like, I hear what you're all saying, but can you just check if there's any money in your pocket?
There is not any money in my fucking pocket.
No, because what's the word? It's more money in your pocket. If you have no money to start with.
Yeah.
That's why we're taking the action we are, to recognise the strength of feeling about this, the pressure that it puts on public services, and that's why we're taking serious practical action to address this issue, not just returning back to the old gimmicks, the old solutions that failed to deal with this.
Your solutions
What the fuck?
are
Who
just a
says returning
perpetuation
back?
of the failed solutions that didn't work before. Do you remember, like, a couple of weeks ago, or months or years ago, my sense of time is fading rapidly, like, when he went to Albania to, like, essentially say, hey, you remember how you were working with the Italian fascists, would you like to work with us? We're also kind of fascists. And, like, the Albanian prime minister during the press conferences went, dude, that's really pathetic. We're not, like, working with you because you're too sad. Like...
Yeah, I mainly remember how the guy towered over, like, Keir Starmer.
Yeah, but everybody does. That's not like, you don't get bonus points
like,
for that.
But this guy was like twice as tall as him. It was like a special effect thing from Lord of the Rings. Do you know what I mean? But also, I'm incredibly mad about not just returning back, because the back is implied by the word returning. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to say returning back. Fucking stop using ChatGPT to write your every fucking thought. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, weird how this spokesperson kept speaking with M dashes in the middle of their speech. I don't know how they managed that. The spokesperson continued and said, the Prime Minister did not think the UK was at risk of civil disorder. This
fuck
presumably
off.
being
the fucking high.
Presumably being the same Prime Minister of the UK that was Prime Minister this summer and also last summer when
that didn't happen.
Yeah, like...
No, but last year, like, there's an important difference, Alistair. Last year, they were race riots that needed to be condemned, and then, the papers made the woman who went to prison like a national hero and, two-tier policing and all that shit. This year, according to John Reynolds, these are simply legitimate concerns, and people who keep spray painting, the fucking...
Yeah, the only way...
Butcher's apron outside, places where migrants are housed are simply, concerned local citizens to whose concerns are valid and whose valid concerns must be listened to.
Yeah, the only way this can possibly be true that the Prime Minister doesn't think the UK is at risk of civil disorder is if he considers, like, you know what I mean, the fucking protests outside hotels and the violence associated with them, and, like, the fucking cunts running around sticking a George Cross on every available fucking, like, square surface. Like, to just be good patriotism. Do you know what I mean? Because I saw that video of those cunts in Basildon that were up on the fucking, like, ledge above the shop fronts, like, painting George Cross between all the windows on the fucking flats above the shops. And, the third guy who was filming the pair of them doing it and then took a brief pause to racially abuse a woman in a fucking headscarf that he saw go past with her kids. You know what I mean? He's been arrested for that hate crime, but the two fucking lads doing criminal damage, they haven't been arrested because, that would cause...
That's freedom of speech, Jamie.
The fucking the council have been taking flags down and people are just going out and spray painting things. And it's, like, let's be honest, it's only a matter of time before the council take down too many flags and a little fucking progress meter fills up in, like, some sort of fucking heads-up display inside Baz's head, and people just go out and start chucking petrol bombs at, like, fucking churches or something in response. Do you know what I mean?
Crystal Baz.
Yeah.
The spokesperson continued.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck
No, wait,
my
wait.
life.
The spokesperson was also asked if the current administration was, and this is where you were right earlier, Jamie, the current administration was open to making deals with countries like Afghanistan, Eritrea, as Farage said he was. The spokesperson did not rule it out, but said the way to do deals was by working with other countries and not withdrawing from international conventions. Never mind that one of your very own lords, who is also supposedly an advisor to Keir Starmer, has said we should withdraw from the ECHR. Like,
Well, as did, like, gigantic terror and worst cunt fucking David Blunkett as well.
Oh yeah, that fucking.
There's going to be
that's
such
just
a party when he fucking dies, isn't there?
Yeah.
yeah.
We've got Kissinger at home.
A 21 machine gun salute.
But I mean, this is just the fucking, like, exact response you would expect from Keir Starmer. It's like, well, yeah, we're not going to rule out doing fascism, but we are going to nitpick at the method by which the fascism is implemented, because he's just yelling things furiously, whereas we're technocrats, so you can be guaranteed we will have a 5-point plan for killing the foreigners. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's also I mean, it's just like this is the whole thing is just like, please, for the love of God, let me fly abroad on some other fucking trip so I don't have to deal with what's going on at home, and I can parade around shaking more, the hands of other heads of state and like pretend that I'm a real boy, like fucking for the millionth time.
But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, frankly, I think it's a disgrace that Nigel Farage would, like, suggest we need fucking work camps for migrants with, like, you know what I mean, like mass graves on site. He hasn't even drawn a blueprint for how those camps would operate. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's his fucking contract with which he's prepared to hire the guards? Do you know what I mean? Like, just fucking, it's ridiculous. It's like, just say he's just fucking, actually, just.
And this also all comes after Labour's touted one-in, one-out policy that will supposedly return the first migrants to France in the next few weeks. I mean, just being utterly dog-walked by Nigel Farage at every fucking step. It is fucking ridiculous. Like, Jeremy Corbyn did to Theresa May what Nigel Farage is doing to the Labour Party now, but from the other, the opposite end of the Overton window. And, like...
almost like a horseshoe.
Yes, much to
How
think about.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Horseshoe theory, the theory you believe in when you get kicked in the head by a horse. Correct. So the only criticism that has been levelled at Farage by Labour is that camps and this specific method of deportation would be unworkable. Starmer's promised to go to war with Farage, but he'll be on that once he gets back from his family holiday in Europe. So you better believe he's right on
Skipping in the line for yet another toboggan. I can't wait for like whatever fucking shithouse story he manages next. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, further to this, a reaction from Labour, Ellie Reeves, the chair of the Labour Party, responded to.
Is she related to someone else we know?
I wouldn't worry about it. So she was responding to Reform UK's press conference, and she said, exactly 4 months ago, Zia Youssef promised that Reform would publish a comprehensive strategy, a full policy document, and a detailed plan for mass deportations.
Oh my God, did I call this as well?
Yes, you did. With a year-by-year timeline and clear targets. Today, we got none of those things, nor a single answer to any of the practical, financial, or ethical questions about how their plan would work.
I'm glad ethical came last in that little line.
Well, it's the least important question in those three fields, so yeah. She also continued, Nigel Farage can't say where his detention centres will be, can't say what will happen to women and children, and can't say how he'll convince hostile regimes like Iran to take people back. Only this Labour government...
Hang on a tick.
Go on.
How he will convince hostile regimes like Iran to take people back. Are we now saying that Iran is both a sort of world historic sponsor of terrorism and so on and so forth, existential threat to our friends in the Middle East, etc., but also at the same time they are our good friends in, controlling migration numbers. Just so I can keep these two things balanced in my, gigantic brain.
Look,
I can't believe Owen Smith is the Prime Minister.
Yeah, that's right. Look, as a liberal, the only way you can defeat the far right is by opening communication channels with the Taliban and the theocracy of Iran. You have to do that, unfortunately. As a liberal, that is just what you have to do. Don't ask me why. I was kicked in the head by a horse earlier, so it's all making perfect sense to me.
Yeah, don't look at that weird government in Syria that's now our friend in the Middle East and that was swiftly delisted from, the terror group watch list, at the same time that Palestine action was put on it. I have no further concerns here.
Don't ask what the role of terrorism watch lists and stuff like the purpose of those are on a political and geopolitical stage. Like that's just common sense stuff.
This is an ad break on Podcasting as Praxis. This advert is for the Patreon of Podcasting as Praxis. On the Patreon of Podcasting as Praxis, you will get at least 2 monthly bonus episodes of Podcasting as Praxis, where we discuss lots of topics, including new types of guy, celestial boondoggles, monetising whale shit, and, reluctantly, Scott Paul. You will also be able to join the Podcasting as Praxis Discord, a place to talk with like-minded people about lots of topics, including new types of guy, celestial boondoggles, monetising whale shit, but not Scott Paul, and also, of course, Podcasting as Praxis. If that isn't enough Podcasting as Praxis for you, the Discord also includes a bonus channel where we post the bits that don't make the final cut of the episodes. Fans of both mediocre and bad podcasting have everything to gain by subscribing to the Patreon of Podcasting as Praxis. You will also no longer get ads on episodes of Podcasting as Praxis. £5 a month will get you all of that and maybe more at patreon.com/, you guessed it, Praxiscast. That's patreon.com/Praxiscast, the place where we sell Podcasting as Praxis.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Farage can't say how we'll convince hostile regime. You'll just ship them off to that fucking mega prison in Central America that Donald Trump's using because he wants to be Donald Trump more than anything else in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they all want to be Donald Trump. Like, that's kind of just the whole vibe at the moment. Like,
have you considered, though, Jamie? But nevertheless.
Fuck.
So the final paragraph of Ellie Reeve's response. Only this Labour government is committed to restoring order and fairness to the asylum system. We've already returned more than 35,000 people, as demonstrated on our Instagram post. 35,000 people with no right to be here. A 28% increase in returns of failed asylum seekers in just 1 year.
Fucking... like,
and
I hate
will
to keep banging on about the same...
And end the use of asylum hotels by the end of the Parliament. Go ahead, Rob.
Like, I hate to keep banging on about the same fucking point, but the fascists that you're chasing, like the people who fucking painting St. George's crosses on potholes and then posting about it on, Facebook because Shrimp Jesus has told them to do so. They don't want a 28% reduction, with all the paperwork filled. They want, fucking Starship Troopers. They want, a migrant court today execution live on all channels this evening. Who are you trying to convince, you terrible fucking people? Like, apart from the sheer volume of, like, human misery and disruption and, you know, the people that you treat who already came here under the worst possible circumstances, having escaped possibly even worse circumstances to make it here, who have spent months and probably their entire family's money to have one person come over here in the vague hope that they might, you know, be spared fucking persecutions for being gay or whatever, or having escaped one of the many war zones that the British Empire still likes to fucking continue as the fucking Richard Hammond to the US's fucking Jeremy Clarkson. Just leaving that aside, just being like a cunt talking about Westminster politics, it doesn't work, you fucking freaks.
If he really wanted to be the Richard Hammond, he'd get in a very fast car and see what happens.
Because they're briefcases, they're just so, like, incapable of, like, not, do you know what I mean, being, like, fucking little rules freaks. So it's like, you know, oh, we've returned, like, people with no right to be here, returns of failed asylum seekers, and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, I'm pretty sure, like, Farage said migrants, you know? He didn't say failed asylum seekers, he just said migrants, and it's like... That's just another of the many, many reasons why Labour can't outmaneuver them on this front, because they're still talking in terms of, like, a system that can be made more efficient and can do the job that it's, like, you know, it can do its stated aim of returning asylum seekers, when what reform voters want, like what the die-hard reform voters want, the ones that are outside fucking hotels, you know, all 500 of the cunts across the whole country, that the fucking papers were, like, banging on about all weekend, the BBC as well, like, you know, hundreds of people were out, and it's like, cool, how many thousands of people were out complaining about fucking the genocide, like, recently? How many people were out on the counter protests to these, like, hundreds of fucking people this weekend? Oh, we didn't count them. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
Lots,
this is
many, I guess.
This is the bind that Labour finds themselves in, right? They've got Morgan McSweeney, the, like, you know, the prole whisperer, i.e. the listening to the idle, libidinous dreams of the most racist people you could ever possibly meet in this country, you know, whispering all that stuff into Keir Starmer's ear, and it's absolutely annihilating them in the polls. And obviously, like, before I carry on with this, like, obviously all this shit is just utterly reprehensible. It is just so far beyond the pale in terms of just morally repugnancy. It's... words even fail me, but, like, Morgan McSweeney has locked Labour into a death spiral where every single poll that comes out shows Labour losing support amongst everyone, and like, including, like, every
now they're at 18%. Yeah, just, it's insane.
Just in a total death spiral, and they can't come out of this by leading Keir Starmer into a room, giving him a glass of whiskey and some other stuff, and then electing a new leader because this Labour government is so deeply entwined with the genocide and the war crimes that are being carried out in Gaza, in the West Bank, that any other leader would be also complicit in those same crimes, because that genocide is still ongoing, still increasing our complicity with every single delivery of weapons and, you know, military information from the various spy planes that go over Gaza, like, every single fucking day. So it is just this until the Labour Party, like, the backbenchers in the Labour Party, decide, actually, we are terminally fucked if we don't do anything right now, regardless of who drinks the poison chalice of the Labour leadership. And, you know, that's one way to break it. And the other is to end the genocide in Gaza, or just hope it kind of plays out and ends on its own. I.e., all Palestinians are expelled or contained by the Israeli government. And then, only then, can we break out of the death spiral by electing a new leader who isn't just this fucking toxic, hated, and unelectable.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, what these fucking people want, you know, all the people out painting fucking George crosses on shops and shit, what they want is to, like, only see white faces and never hear Polish again, right? That's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they want.
They want
to be
an ethno state. Like that is the long and short of it.
Not just an ethno state though. They want it to be fucking, you know what I mean, politically uniform as well, in that everyone must like believe their beliefs, right? Like everyone has to fucking like, you know, worship the flag and think England's mint. No, not a single fucking thing about history or like anything, or you care about how the country's run at all, as long as it's completely white and everyone like hates the wife but loves Millwall. Do you know what I mean? That's what they want, right? And like Labour would get there eventually, right? If this drags on long enough, you know, if Labour managed to deport all the failed asylum seekers, they would then move on to deporting all the rest of the asylum seekers, and then they would get on to like just deporting any migrants, and then they would get on to deporting people who've been here like a couple of generations, and then they would get around to anyone who's not white, and so on and so forth, right? They would happily fucking like go as far as the like reform diehards want. But Nigel Farage is just starting from that point, so in this shitty fucking race for cunts, he's already like lapped them like 5 times. Do you know what I mean? But they're not going to give up. They're still going to be chasing after him and his fucking voters as like, you know, and they will happily be as fascist as like humanly possible, as they you know what I mean, as futile as it is. And I suspect they have to like know on some level that it is futile, but they would rather the entire they would rather build the most oppressive police state imaginable and hand it over to an open fucking fascist than entertain the possibility of making a working class person's life even slightly better for a second. Because they just fucking, if you're working class and you haven't started like a fucking, you know what I mean, like haven't made a startup and got on Dragon's Den and like pulled yourself up by the bootstraps and moved up to being a millionaire by now, well then they fucking hate you, you lazy cunt, you should die. That's basically this, like, you know what I mean? It's the whole thing about like Labour, like Tony Blair promoted like social mobility, is that what they used to call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just literally like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh no, yeah, like we're all working class. You aren't fucking working class, you're all cunts. Do you know what I mean? You're all rich cunts, but to them, working class is, do you know what I mean? You were born on an estate, or you were born in a fucking small town, or your dad worked in like, you know, an industry or whatever, and then that signifies you to be working class forever. And so when you're like the Prime Minister or a Lord, or like a fucking, do you know what I mean, like a business leader or something like this, and you look back at like where you came from and all those other people are still on the dole or working in fucking Tesco or whatever, but why didn't they just become a Lord or the Prime Minister or a fucking business leader as well? Clearly it's because of their own personal fucking failings, so fuck the lot of them. Like, that's basically like, that's as much as the Labour Party cares about, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's why they're so obsessed with the fash who are like stomping, because I'm convinced very few of these fucking like fash pricks you see at fucking protests and what have you are actually working class. I bet they all own like, they're all fucking, do you know what I mean? Like small business tyrants and landlords and shit.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. That's like just how these things go. Like,
yeah,
it's a middle class downwards proclivity rather than some grassroots thing that emerges like whole cloth from the working class.
It's just straight Thatcherism.
Yeah. On that note,
middle class isn't real.
On that note, Jamie, do you want to go on to your bit, or are we doing something else?
Yes. No, I'll talk about like an exciting new, and we're still on Labour hate. I'm going to talk about an exciting announcement from, what is she, the Justice Secretary or something?
Yeah, she's the Justice Secretary.
Unless she's jailing Keir Starmer, this is not exciting.
Well, Shabana Mahmood has announced that if you break the law, we'll take away the things you love. Which, as like fucking, do you know what I mean? As previously discussed, right? Like their entire view of the working class is the guys who hate the wife but love Millwall. So they're not talking about, like when they say take away the things you love, they're not talking about putting you in jail where you can't see your family. They're talking about banning you from the football.
Oh, how bad.
Yeah, it's like a fucking. They put out a graphic, and it's like a fucking a football ticket for your team FC, which I believe like Jeremy Corbyn supports, and it says your band next valid game, your favorite team, and then it has name sports loving criminal. So like, stick 'em up, punk. You know what I mean? Like fucking ticket type band, and it's like, yeah, like, cool, great, okay.
Like, I mean, I don't know how these things get announced. I don't know if anybody's thought this through, but like, let's just talk about the Premier League and not the English League or like all the other 1,000 leagues below that. Mm-hmm. Have all those clubs agreed that they will like check with some kind of central register that, I don't know, fucking, Dave who walked out with 3 Tesco ready meals is no longer allowed inside the club? Like, has this been...
I'm pretty certain that those clubs specifically are not wanting to check any kinds of registers because it would be financially against their interests.
Yeah, but it's like, so how's that going to happen?
Infrastructure.
I read the editorial like she wrote in the Mirror, which is like dog shit anyway and incredibly short. And it's just like, take football as the new season starts. For many fans, their time on the terraces is the highlight of their week. But crooks who cause chaos on our streets could soon be banned from stadiums, stranded at home while their mates cheer from the stands. Or holidays, period. Lawbreakers may dream of sun, sea, and sangria each summer. Fuck my life. This is... Oh,
yeah, it was. She was in the sun as well. Courts will be able to take away more freedoms, banning offenders from sports, gigs, pubs, and holidays. And it's like, cool. I can't afford any of those things, so fuck you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
what are you going to do? Like,
they're calling him the perfect criminal.
If people are fucking shoplifting or whatever because they can't afford to fucking eat, what kind of a deterrent do you think it is to say, well, we're going to ban you from flying abroad? Like, cool. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to fly abroad to steal fucking, baby formula from Tesco's. So that's great. That works fine. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? That's excellent. Like, fill your fucking boots. Are you going to ban me from the pub? Well, I can't afford to fucking drink there. Also, we don't have a fucking pub anymore. Do you know what I mean? They all closed down. Like, gigs now, it now costs like fucking, £500 for a fucking ticket to see a band. And the merch is like 80 quid for a fucking hoodie or whatever. Everything is fucking gentrified in this piece of shit country now. So, yeah, do what you want. I don't care. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's such a curious overlap between what do the plebs like? The plebs who are also the crims. Oh, I bet they like football or go to Magaluf. I think that's just the limit of their imagination. It's like, the rabid underclasses can't enjoy, I don't know, fucking blacksmithing or poetry or painting or being outside or their dog or whatever. No. It's just they want to drink sangria, cheap sangria in Spain, and they want to go to fucking whichever local game is on the terraces. And, just this kind of... It's also, it harkens back to this weird kind of, the myth of the working classes who shuffle to the factories during the week and then, on the terraces with their friends in their spare time. It's just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, Labour's fucking graphic design department also knocked up a ticket for banned airlines, which frankly it was a mistake to book with them in the first place, I think. But name of passenger, travelling criminal from London to London, and it's like, I mean, you could just use the tube. I would argue. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Personally, I would have put literally anywhere to New York. That would have made much more sense.
Yeah, well, they didn't. So, you know what I mean? It's like, cool, well, you're not allowed to fly from London to London anymore.
Oh, no.
So that would be devastating. But, yeah, it's so fucked, just...
So what is this, saying? Like, if you don't like the football, you should commit your crimes wearing a football top?
I mean...
Yeah. And then the judge bans you from the football that you don't like. Is that... Like, what is this? Who is this for? Who thinks that this is going to be good?
What I love, does the police look at, I don't know, my Instagram, which I don't have, and just go, oh, well, surely, Rob must like cheese. He's now banned from the cheesemongers. It's like, what the fuck are you
I mean, that would
about?
be a crippling blow.
Yeah, well, try and catch me, motherfuckers.
There's a reason he lives in Switzerland.
They literally say
Cheesemongers if you're quick.
It's just like pubs, gigs, sports, and air travel. And it's like, okay, but they've named those 4 things because you can already be banned from them, right? Like pubs,
it's nothing new, really. It's just bullshit creative sentencing. I don't think you can ban someone from a private business. You can ban someone from a pub because it's licensed. Football's licensed. And
that's the thing.
Air travel is also legally duty bound, etc. So yeah. You would need to introduce a full new law to make it any more expansive than that, and those laws would not survive contact with the appeals courts.
No, I know it's ridiculous, but we have the mechanism to ban people from the football, and pubs and clubs and fucking venues and everything all have that every town has its own database of fucking people who are banned, and it's if you cause a fight in one pub, you're banned from all of them and that sort of thing. And we've had no-fly lists since a specific incident. So fucking that's all fine. But the way they're pitching it is
again.
Yeah, we'll take away the things you love. Makes it sound like the fucking court's going to have to appoint an investigator to go through your computer and just go he's been using ChatGPT to render waifus. He's banned from looking at waifus ever again. Do you know what I mean? Or some shit like that. It's just fucking ridiculous. They love to come up with a draconian sounding but utterly unenforceable law.
Sex banned by 2040.
Yeah.
Shaking my damn head as I get banned from Big Naturals for life. It's a sad old day.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's all right, okay, we're going to sentence you to wear oven mitts constantly so you can't crank one out. It's just fucking... They need to get a hobby, frankly.
Mounting the perfect court defence by saying, joke's on you, I'm into that.
Exactly. What if I have a fetish for being taken to prison? What then? Check me. Do you know what I mean?
Just fucking constantly typing in flame retardant into Pornhub,
Yeah, you'd have to give your ID before you could enter the prison.
It's just and they're just gonna keep shitting out laws like this because it's what are fascists like? They like crackdowns. Do you know what I mean?
And we like crackdowns.
It's not even a law. It's not even a law.
Like?
It's just sentencing guidelines. They can change that whenever they like, but I think at the minute though, nothing. It's just ninja swords again.
No, I think they do have to change something because I think at the minute you can only be banned from football if you commit a football-related offence, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. If you are actually writing and doing hooligan stuff, essentially.
I don't think the law is, you know what I mean, says that a judge can just go, you know what, fucking take all the paintings of his wife down from that guy's house. He's not allowed to look at them anymore. You know what I mean? I mean that might require a new law, it's just.
I look forward to the late stage capitalism punishments act. We're taking the treats away now. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, they'd be able to just
the economy took them away from us a long time ago.
Fucking Peter Kyle makes a deal with Netflix that the government will pay £10 billion to get everyone in the country a Netflix a subscription, just so that the courts can take it off you if you misbehave. Yeah, but it's going to be crackdowns forever because fascists obviously love crackdowns because imagine the harm they can cause when they inevitably get into power with these laws. And liberals love crackdowns because they hate poor people and they imagine they're the only victims that'll fucking suffer, so yeah.
Universal basic treats.
This
is a very fucking depressing podcast. We should stop talking about Labour. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, do you want to talk about something else that's incredibly depressing?
I know what this is because I'm the one that fucking
Yeah, you
sent
said
it
it
to
to
you.
me.
But
This is. I would say this is less like depressing.
let's get mad about something that isn't the fucking Labour Party for a change. Let's go.
This is for the moment. You can only acquire this in 38 states of the United States. So for the moment, the UK is safe, but I'm sure this won't last long. And style-wise, this is like something this is a brand new format that nobody's ever done before. So don't write in about it. So I found a startup I'd like to talk to you about. Or Jamie's found one, to be fair. But
It is some Paul Verhoeven ass shit. I will say that.
So I
found them because I was watching an enchanted copy of RoboCop that had modern adverts in it.
Well, I'd buy that for $1.
So this is from some of like the launch copy that this company got into like several publications. In a digital world where finance apps often feel more like chores than solutions, a new player is adding some much needed fun to the mix. We looked at the $1.1 trillion in credit card debt in America and realized people don't need more budgeting lectures; they need motivation. Says Albert Wang,
Oh my
co-founder.
God.
We're building a system that rewards progress and adds joy to the painful part of people's financial lives. And it is at this point that I should simply ask David and Alistair,
are they gamifying debt repayment?
Yes, but they're also making it worse.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Well, you can't pay off the debt, then you would stop playing the game.
Well,
no, it's worse than that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I will simply say before
It's
we
so
go
much
on,
more worse
is like
than
if
that.
you go to the About Us page of this app, the 4 founders/employees are all represented by cool cartoon versions of the 4 mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
They don't have their pictures. They have like drawings of, Michelangelo, Donatello et al. On their website.
Do they have
And the other two.
and the others?
Yeah. And also their social media has started tagging in Andrew Tate for clout.
Jesus. Well, okay.
And yet, it gets worse.
Yeah, this is like a preview. So what we're talking about, this is a brand new app. It's called Covered, but just spelled without the last D, the last E. So COVERD, Covered.
What year is it?
Yeah,
I know.
So this is how it works. This is essentially from their own.
Why is everything Chaucerian? Like, I just don't get it.
This is essentially from some of their own press materials that they've just like put in like a bunch of like shitty business
tail.
outlets. So, the 2 founders, quote, brought deep technical knowledge and a passion for user-centric design. Together, they asked themselves one big question. Why does paying off debt have to feel like punishment?
It is.
Yeah, but what if it wasn't? What if instead of like you paying off, your credit card debt because you went to, I don't know, fucking Nando's or you bought a PlayStation or whatever the fuck it is you did with your money?
Yes.
What if instead of paying it back, you loaded all that credit card debt on the Covered app and then for a certain small surcharge, you could spin the roulette wheel. And if the roulette wheel lands on your number, then the company will pay it off. But if it doesn't, obviously, you lose your stake.
Covered Voderman. It's got everything, debt consolidation and a big wheel.
Yeah, it does.
This is like I can't even muster the energy to despair about this. It's just
this is so evil. This is like
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep reading for a little bit. Users buy
boxes for debt.
Users buy low-cost practice coins, which come with free entries called covered cash. These can be used to play instant win games. Any winnings can then be applied to reducing outstanding credit card bills or saving towards a financial goal.
You've invented a casino! You've invented a casino!
But for your debt.
What the fuck? Like...
Yes.
Losing all my money at the Uma Musume Pretty Girl Derby.
But you didn't have any money. This is very important.
You already...
You didn't have money in the first place. You put it all in your credit card.
If you are going to have, like, a gambling industry, it has to be, like, heavily regulated, has to do, like, affordability checks on people who want to engage with it. But, like, they've turned that on its head by ensuring that the players already have a... Obviously, if you're turning to this,
credit card.
Outstanding, overwhelming credit card debt.
Yeah, and as a fun little, like, you know, extra bit of gamification, when you fail to make the repayments, they send Anton Chigurh around to repossess your car.
I'll just ask for the bolt gun. Like, just make everyone's lives easier, man. I hate having to see that haircut.
Like, you know, these practice coins can cost as little as 1 cent per coin, but on their Twitter account, they're already talking about, like, it costs like a $10 bet to pay off your $160 dinner. So, like, I assume, like, your bet must scale with the amount that you'd like to win back in, you know, the app casino that is literally driven by your credit card debt.
Yeah. The thing is, this is like such a fucking work of evil genius, though. You know what I mean? Because it's
so
like
evil.
It's like fucking Lex Luthor has never done anything this fucking bad. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because it's like, you know, there's people with credit card debt and everything, and you tell people, well, it's bad to, like, buy things on your credit card all the time, right? You're gonna, like, because someday you've got to pay the piper. And these cunts are just like, yeah, but what if there was a chance you didn't? I like those odds.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you might be thinking, I can't really spend like £1,000 fucking pounds on a holiday, or a fucking, you know what I mean, or like however much on whatever. I can't really do that, but there's a chance that I might not have to pay it back. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I think I'll be tempted. It's fucking vile, like.
It's insanely vile. Like, it's really, really fucking...
So what is the actual business model end of this, right? I get the predatory bit. They've got that nailed down.
It's... Right, let me...
Yeah, what's the spin?
Right, I'll grab one of the... So this is... I'm reading this word for word, right? This is a tweet they sent out on March 19th. Went on a terrible first date last night that cost me $162. She was vaping in my face mid-meal. Just sound like a terrible fucking date. At the very end of my date, I went to the bathroom to play roulette on covered to get the bill wiped from my credit card. The date cost me $172. So if you lose the digital casino roulette wheel that they also control and that you have no insight in because, you know, it's just an app on your fucking phone, then they just take that $10.
Okay, so they take the $10, but where did that $10 come from? Was it a credit card?
You paid... No, they probably won't accept a credit card to buy the fucking coins that you use to gamble with. I would imagine.
You probably have to, like, No, this is right. You do have to... You're right. In the app, I think you do have to send them, like, actual money up front so you can make your, like...
Okay, so that makes some sense, right? That makes some sense. What about all of the debt that they are then saddled with because people are not going to spend more money, mostly, than the debt they have with them?
But I mean, I assume that, like, you know, that they've just done a probability thing and, like, they will rake in more money than they'll ever pay out. It's just, it's literally casino mechanics. So, like,
debt is always paid back. It's always a good investment to buy debt, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, famously, nothing has ever fucking collapsed and sent the world into a fucking, like, tailspin because of bad debt. It just can't
let
happen.
alone
All debt
$1.1
is
trillion
is,
in, credit card debt.
Yeah, all debt is good debt, and it always pays out in the long run. Do you know what I mean? You can buy debt for pennies on the dollar and just make a fortune. This is a cast iron law of finance that has never been fucking questioned or proven wrong. And, what do you say? What if someone dies and they can't pay it back? Well, then for the next of kin, it's Chigurh time, baby. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking, there's people coming around to just, like, dismantle your fucking house brick by brick and move it across the street into the empty lot they repossessed from your neighbour. Like,
yeah.
Nothing can possibly go wrong with this.
Just for scale of reference, so 1.1 trillion divided by, I think there's a give or take 350 million Americans at the moment, but that includes babies and 85-year-olds. On average, they're all
that sounds like an emerging market.
They're on average, each and every last single American living has somewhere north of $3,000 of credit card debt. Individually, right? Not some will have way more than others, but yeah. So what if we just tapped into that market? And let me keep reading because the amount of evil contained herein is not we're not limited yet. So if you're curious, the games you can play include roulette, blackjack, and soon there'll be plinko and slots that you can win back your credit card debt.
That makes it better. Good.
Said one of the co-founders, Albert Wang, quote, "Most people feel helpless about their debt," he adds. "We wanted to create something different that gives them control back, even in small bursts. One win can make a real dent and a big difference psychologically. So you're not gambling, you're taking control of your debt."
Just fucking play the lottery if you have to do this. Just, honestly, who is convinced by this? I get, I have done the debt. In fact, I am still, to a degree, doing the debt. It's just much easier to, just fire on a couple of quid in the lottery every week or two, or when the fucking rollover's big, or whatever, to make you feel better about that shit. It's not going to win. Yeah. You're not going to get anything, but that's how this works too.
But David, instead of dealing with, your debt issues and having a long, terrible, hard road back of paying all that shit back because, you made some stupid mistakes in the past. What if instead you put it all on red?
Mm-hmm. What if we could monetize hope?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if you took a crisp £5 note, you folded it up into a little square, you went outside the front door, you walked down the street, find the nearest storm drain and just slot that bad boy in.
Yeah. This is one of the other co-founders talking. "We didn't want to just build another budgeting app. We wanted to reframe
We wanted
the
to do something far worse.
Yeah.
We wanted to reframe the experience of getting out of debt to make it feel like progress, not sacrifice."
You know what? Someday someone is going to invent the naughty nightwear item from Fallout New Vegas that gives you +1 to luck, and every single casino business is just gonna go out of business overnight, and everyone's going to be incredibly sexy while that happens.
Oh, you mean the plot of Ocean's 13? But these people, these are so evil. It's imagine opening the doors to an actual casino with actual roulette wheels and actual slot machines and all the shit that comes with it, and then saying the Las Vegas Tourism Board, let's say, reframing the gambling experience and saying, look, we want to make the people who come here make it feel like they're experiencing progress, not sacrifice. You'd go there and burn the fucking place.
Yeah, I like to experience progress by the number I need to see go up. The progress is when that number goes down.
Yeah. You see, I've got a strong suspicion as well that when they wrote the rules and regulations governing gambling, they probably didn't apply them to financial institutions. So, you know what I mean? I'd imagine these fucking slots on the thing are rigged to fuck. And the only people that are ever going to actually cancel the debt are prominent YouTubers. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to be all the people who got in trouble with fucking Valve for promoting fucking Counter-Strike knife gambling sites or whatever the fuck. They're all now going like Mr. Beast is going to be fucking promoting this shit. Like, look, I cancelled $2,000 of my debt that I spent on massive fake teeth or whatever the fuck he spends his money on.
I don't know,
what I mean?
launching Lamborghinis into the fucking Vatican or whatever the fuck he's up to.
Yeah, the blood of innocence. I hear he needs to drink like 3/4 of that a day in order to like remain on this plane of existence.
Yeah, if you're wondering how the fuck is this possibly legal, and that's because, quote again,
because it's in America.
Well, also that, yes. Unlike
the land of the free.
Unlike real money gambling apps, operates under US sweepstakes laws, meaning users can also enter games for free and no real money wagering need take place. This keeps the model both legal and accessible, offering the thrill of potential reward without the financial risk of gambling. That's weird, because every single one of their posts on Act the Everything app is distinctly about gambling, and you see roulette wheels and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, there's also a freemium version of Cover available.
Oh, Christ.
Jesus Christ.
I hate the future.
The mindset shift is core to the app's design. Unlike boring traditional finance tools, which often rely on boring charts, limits, and reminders, Cover taps into behavioral psychology, small wins, dopamine hits, and the feeling of control. The games are simple and fun, but the stakes are real. For many users, at the first sight, they felt a sense of agency over their finances. What if, you logged into fucking Angry Birds and your bank account at the same time? Wouldn't that be awesome?
I can't believe I'm glad that I've got ADHD.
Is that not just Angry Birds?
Look,
it was only a matter of time before other industries looked at the fucking games industry and went, hold on a minute. So, like, you know what I mean? They've got this thing called a Skinner box, and they hooked it up to like people's wallets, and now they just print fucking money in exchange for human misery. Can we do that?
I'm gonna go get that $5 out my wallet now. I've got storm drained. You've got
to tip your local clown from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
otherwise, Stephen King will break into your house and whisper fucking child orgies in your ear while you sleep.
Jesus Christ. Oh. So yeah, but it's full steam ahead for Cover the company because they just completed their second financing round. They got almost $8 million from, and I swear to God, I haven't made this up. I checked it out. It's a real thing. A investment group called YOLO Investments.
Oh, fuck off.
Good God.
Did I or did I not promise Verhoeven fucking treats? You know what I mean? Like, YOLO Investments.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It also, next year, aims to launch its own credit card, which automatically enrolls all your purchases into free spins. Cool.
Oh, my God.
So yeah, this is
what if your credit card was literally a casino? That is just staggering levels of exploitation and evil, just wrapped up in one nice, neat little package. Like, I can see why a fucking startup like this would rake in the fucking the capital from the investors. Jesus Christ.
I know, it's genuinely insane. It is, Alistair, you'll be happy to know, not the only company in this space. This is a new and, fast developing corner, which is broadly construed as gamified fintech. Oh. So, which simply seeks, in essence, to make, debt management more fun by, adding, badges and profile pictures and progress bars to, paying back your burrito on Klarna.
This is difficult for me because none of that shit has ever worked on me in the past. I'm immune to that stuff. Genuinely, the thought of getting a little badge on your little fucking online profile being a positive thing confounds the fuck out of me.
Right, so this is a little
Do
piece
not
from...
speak to me. You are a machine. I'm a divine being.
Fucking correct. On that note, should we move on?
Oh, to the abominable intelligence.
I need to read you a few more things before we move on.
Oh,
so
good. I was hoping
some
you would
fun
say
quotes
that.
about the information page about gamified fintech from the Payments Association, which is basically the lobbying arm of all the major banks and payment processors that explains what fun can be had for the companies behind this fucking insane misery generator.
Well, if the banks think it's a good idea.
By using different features, customers can unlock different reward badges. This motivates them to continue unlocking badges, as people don't want to see grayed out features when they know they could unlock them. This is a classic fintech gamification strategy, and such rewards can be linked to real rewards. Like with Starbucks, if you gain enough loyalty points, you're able to access offers that others cannot. So if you simply keep, paying back cover for the roulette spins you mysteriously kept losing, you'll get a little gold fringe about your thing, and maybe they'll send you a free coffee.
You are genuinely better off sending your money to the fucking Star Citizen Fund to get some banner around your forum avatar than you are doing this. At least
a JPEG of my negative bank balance.
Yeah, at least you get a fucking JPEG out of it.
Yeah. Chris Roberts said today that Squadron 42 is releasing next year, and then fucking Star Citizen will be out in 2027 or 2028. So look forward to that.
Oh right, so right along the same moment that agentic AI finally works, you mean?
Yeah. That's what's going to finish the game for him. Yeah.
I'm going to read you one more thing from the Payments Association website. This is so fucking profoundly. This is genuinely like reading from the Necronomicon. When appealing to Gen Z fintech customers, gamification is the best strategy to engage with them. It is important that fintech is able to engage with these younger generations, not simply because it makes good business sense, but due to the fact that these customers have a starker need for financial services and products. Why do you feel this need, you might ask? Well, the article goes on to say, according to, polling, less than 20% of Gen Z feels financially secure. So, win-wins all around, really.
Yeah, what the Zoomers or whatever the fuck they are now need is for those YouTube videos with the dancing fruit. They need that, but like the ability to like bet on which fruit's going to turn up next. That's what they need.
Yeah. Anyway, this is some of the most horrifying shit I've seen in a while. This is so fucking incredibly evil that I'm sure it's going to be an enormous success for covered and YOLO investments.
I look forward to the financial crisis that this causes.
Yeah. Is it time for comment or commentariat?
No.
Why?
Is that just a general question because you can't remember?
Yeah, pretty much. All the things that make the UK a wonderful place to live, strive, thrive, and retire in are under threat. Our reward for a lifetime of hard work and thrift, based on conservative, with a lowercase c, rather than conservative, with a capital C, values, is to be taxed to the hilt by Labour. Is that comment or commentariat?
I'm going to say comment.
Comment.
Yeah, comment.
That was a commentariat. That was Jeff Prestridge in the Daily Mail. And I'm going to read you a bit more of his fucking column.
Fuck off, Jeff.
Carries on straight on from the paragraph I just read. Yes, it's retribution time, and boy, are we going to pay a price for having done everything within our means to ensure we can travel through the rest of our lives with a degree of financial security. The wealth we have assiduously accumulated over our working lives is at risk. Everything from our tax-friendly cash ISAs, savings and investments, through to our works, pensions, and now it seems our home. Welcome, dear readers, to the Socialist Republic of the UK, where thrift is no longer encouraged, but seen as a mark of privilege and class and a source of revenue for labour to either redistribute to those less deserving or to spend on pay rises to members of those unions who lick its back.
I mean, it's
this
just
is
so
absolutely a
fucking funny.
man who believes that you pay, you earn less money as you go into a new tax bracket.
Yeah,
100%. Like, march on Paris, eh? First, they have to get there, and second, they have to have an army to do the marching. At the rate Russia is killing off its own men in their suicidal war against Ukraine, they'll have to be an army of women driving T-56 tanks. I think even Germany could deal with that army. Is that comment or commentary?
Very much doubt that Germany
famously,
could deal with
I
that
don't
army.
believe they did.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think
Historical precedent says that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
so someone should look into this.
That's got
Commentary.
to be... I want to say
No,
comment.
it's comment. I'm going to say comment too.
That was a comment in the Express. Russia threatens to march on Paris as all-out World War III fears erupt.
Well, again,
good old Express.
I mean,
since this war began, I've had an article a week or a day in the beginning about like threats of World War III, and the Russians are marching on Warsaw, Berlin, Paris, Amsterdam, Brussels.
Yes, well,
wherever the fuck.
What do you
British
expect?
journalism.
Yeah, what do you
Let
expect
British
from the
journalism-
Journal of Panic Generals? That's where they all write.
Yeah. British journalism is introducing you to the concept of manifesting.
They've all read The Secret. They're projecting Russian invasion's thoughts out into the universe.
The truth is that there is no such thing as a truly private company in China, as the Chinese government has ultimate control. Victor Lee Tsar-Koi, chairman and executive director of CKI, serves as a member of the 14th National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference of the People's Republic of China, brackets CPPCC. He is a Chinese Communist Party advisor, not a normal businessman. The government must defend our critical national infrastructure against malign actors and the threat of countries such as China. CKI must not be permitted to acquire Thames Water, and its already extensive British infrastructure holdings must be reconsidered. Is that comment or commentary?
All right, I will simply never look at the previous owners of Thames Water, and I think this is commentary because it sounds like, one of their fucking lobbyists who slipped this in somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to say
President
commentary.
Xi, please, my people are very thirsty. Yeah, commentary, it has to be.
Yeah, that was Ian Duncan Smith in The Telegraph. China is attempting to buy up our critical infrastructure. It cannot be permitted to.
Oh dear.
There's a photo online of the lovely Darius Dinesh, Scottish singer on Pop Idol or similar. Lovely chap, sadly deceased in his early 40s. Take a look at him in his tux with his height and handsome face. He will always be my James Bond, R.I.P. Is that comment or commentary?
That's commentary. That's Richard Littlejohn.
Yeah, commentary.
Yeah.
And that was a comment in the Daily Mail.
Oof.
New Bond odds put surprise choice back as frontrunner as Punter's clear favourite is revealed.
Wow.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson is still the favourite, and Henry Cavill is like runner-up or some shit. Like the People's Princess is Henry Cavill, the new Bond.
Yeah, he gets to be 008. I don't know how James Bond works.
Yeah. And the commenters in the Daily Mail are very mad about the prospect of Aaron Taylor-Johnson becoming James Bond because he's woke and not British.
All right. Well, sucks to suck.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, sounds like
As far as I'm aware,
He was born in
aware,
England. That's simply not
he
true.
was,
He's born in England.
Yeah. He just does a very convincing American accent.
Yeah.
I wish all the argument about pronouns had been raging when I was a teenager. That was the time when it first became commonplace to address God as you in the liturgy and in translations of the Bible. I was against the change then because it sacrificed beauty, but I could never quite answer those who said it was better to speak to God less formally and more intimately. In my then ignorance, I did not know that thou, as is the case with the second person singular in many other languages, was historically the more intimate and loving form, and so I did not understand that the plural you was the more distant one. The use of you is also theologically inaccurate, since it grammatically implies that there is more than one God. The Trinity, after all, are not some things, it is one thing. Is that comment or commentariat?
This is Jordan Peterson.
Facebook post.
Commentariat.
Actually, that was Charles Moore in The Spectator. Where have all the upper-class Tories gone?
Yeah, we're so worse off without them. Fuck's sake.
Alright, last one.
Oh, thank God.
Recently, I booked a hotel room in the north of England. We could have deluxe or superior. It was explained to me that superior, in this context, meant inferior. Deluxe had been recently refreshed, superior had not. We were inclined to take deluxe, but then I asked whether deluxe had baths. No, it only had walk-in showers. Superior, however, had baths, so we took superior, thereby saving more than £100. This must be the first generation in human history which has paid less for a room with a bath than for one without. Why the change? I can think of 4 possible reasons. 1. Americans prefer showers. 2. Showers save water and therefore the planet. 3. Showers save space and therefore property costs. 4. Many customers are too old or fat to get out of baths.
Jesus Christ.
In another generation, will baths be objects only of historical interest, like mangles? Is that comment or commentariat?
I'm always looking at the Roman baths and being madly confused by them. What were they?
We will never know.
Oh, God.
Commentariat. This sounds like, oh shit, I have to submit something by midnight. The hotel I went to.
I was on booking.com.
This is my homework is late. Yeah.
Giles Corrin.
Yeah, the dog.
No, it was
my
Charles
holiday.
Moore in The Spectator. It was the paragraph that followed on to the previous one about fucking the plural form of thou. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man!
God, once you're in there, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. You can never get fired.
Someone clearly visited Charles Moore's retirement home and just put Fizzwiz in the fucking shower head or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like the man is having a party this week. But yeah, that's your whack. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, we will retire to our baths/showers.
Yeah. Now speak for yourself. I'm too old and or fat to get out of a bath.
Come help Jamie out of the bath at patreon.com/praxiscast.
Yeah. You know what helps people out of baths? It's some nice soft butter.
That's how we got him in the bath, Rob.
Yeah, it's a good job we kept it in that dish on the side.
Praxiscast.
What?
Get ye some bonus episodes and also access the Discord. Twitch streams are things that happen on Thursdays now, where we build a horrible spaghetti factory, me and Jamie, and on Sundays, which is where a spaghetti farm is being built. I don't quite know what's going on there.
It's the non-Euclidean house stream.
Yep. Yeah. Do you want to know what it's like to live in a MC Escher painting? Well, tune in.
Yeah, so
Everyone's
7 o'clock
a fucking
on
critic.
7 o'clock Thursdays and 6:30 on Sundays. So join us there, join us then. And merch also available at praxiscast.tmail.com.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.